Carrie Fisher, everyone. Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show.
We're good.
Thank you.
Well, we all saw Wishful Drinking. That's going to be on HBO Sunday night at 9 o'clock. And we all loved it. Look at that.
All saw it where?
We
have copies.
We're a big show. We get copies ahead of time.
Yeah, we're good like that. And then they explode after we take them out, so we
That's
can't
good,
upload them or
I wouldn't
anything.
want anyone else to see.
No. I didn't even invite anybody over to watch it with
Good,
me.
'cause
I didn't want them
it's
to
a
know.
huge secret.
That's it. I know. And that bootlegging thing. You don't want to do that.
No.
Well, I want to, but I don't want other people to.
I sold my copy to the Asians down in Chinatown.
Oh,
so I'm
what's
good.
going to happen there.
I got a nice
Good.
payday. So
I'm sure you
They're making
did,
copies
because of
as
all
we
the nude
speak.
scenes in it.
What was this? Was amazing to me because it was like it's a one-person show and it was kind of like almost stand-up because it was audience interaction. But I love the fact that you had your shoes off. There was something so comfortable looking.
well, the rugs look comfortable.
But it really looked like everyone tries to capture this vibe where they do a one-person show where they want you to feel like you're in their living room, and it really did feel that way.
I actually wanted to serve, like Doritos and dip and stuff like that, but they wouldn't let me.
Why?
Because they said that someone would be able to, claim that they were poisoned.
Sue
by
you.
the-
Oh, God.
Oh, it's getting
Swear.
ridiculous.
Things are only fun when lawyers get involved, by the way.
We love the lawyer.
They know
Exactly.
fun and funny and creative.
They
You
actually
always have
invented it.
Yeah, you always have to go filter everything through them first to really wring out anything spontaneous and fun.
Well, I wasn't allowed to do that. I used to think about it. I think about what if it was packaged food?
Yeah.
What about kosher?
Someone chokes and you're done.
So stupid.
You're just done. You see Carrie just
Well,
run
they're
out into
done
the
too
crowd,
if
giving a
they choke.
Heimlich
Yeah.
maneuver. It's
Yeah.
like, she's a hero. Now I'm going to sue her.
Now, Jimmy said how it looked very comfortable, like, we were watching you in your living room. The other thing I loved about it was your honesty. No one is honest like that.
They aren't.
Not on your level,
Not at
Carrie
my level.
Fisher. Not on your level. A lot of people kind of want to protect their image and this and that.
Well, my image was shot anyway.
That's
though. It
true.
wasn't like I'm telling people things that no one knew that before.
But you give insight. Like it starts. I don't want to give everything away, but it starts where you tell the audience that you found a guy dead in your bed.
Yep.
Who admits that?
Well, it was in the paper, though.
but not everyone
I'll
reads the
tell you
paper.
something.
More people now know that there was a dead guy in Carrie Fisher's bed. I didn't know until I watched this thing that's going to be on HBO
Well,
Sunday,
that's
9
what
o'clock.
happens when you get in bed with me. No, at this point. It was in the paper, and it was inaccurately reported. But I couldn't talk about that for years.
I guess.
And there is a part of me that goes, "You want to hear something really awful?" That this sort of, But I tell people they can ask me questions about it, and they don't think I'm serious.
Right. How's it like to find someone dead in your bed?
Fabulous. It's fantastic. Just as you would assume. It is just, what you're thinking at the time is how great that he felt relaxed enough that he could die in bed with me. Because that really says something about my hospitality.
Yes, certainly.
I've slept with enough women who I thought were.
Was he?
And they probably wished you were.
Yeah.
Was he a boyfriend of?
He was gay. So, yes, he was a boyfriend. He was a gay Republican. And I believe being a Republican has something to do with his death. Yes.
Yeah,
Remember, that's what
a lot
I
of
say
stress.
about him.
Yes.
For a gay guy to be a Republican, a lot of
I don't know. He didn't seem to bother him. I have also probably because he did a lot of drugs.
That could be it.
Was it a
too.
drug thing, or
That
was
could
he?
help and reconcile.
Or was he sick?
No. He
with the hip.
He was someone who abused. How do you not abuse drugs, though? But anyway,
You can't just
I'll
use
think
them.
about them
You
that
have
later.
to abuse them.
The word "use" is an abuse. So,
Yeah.
anything there?
If you're using it, aren't you abusing it?
No, I am, but I don't know about other people.
I mean, if you're just using them.
He died of sleep apnea,
Oh,
get Big
like
A
our
back
own
in here.
era.
coupled with OxyContin use.
Okay.
All right?
Definitely a big addition.
But listen,
You think that's a bad combo, Jimmy?
Yeah.
OxyContin is not a great combo.
Did you ever
With
do it?
anything.
I never did. I
God,
quit.
yeah.
I quit getting high years ago before OxyContin. I missed out on that.
You missed some great drugs.
I really
I
did.
got out, but I got back in just to try the
Just for
OxyContin.
that. I heard so many good things about
Yeah,
it.
great
How to
stuff.
delve right back
Most
into
of the people that, are raving are dead, but still.
Yeah, true.
No, but he took 3. It wasn't like he could have overdosed. If you did separate the, I found him, as it were. I'm right next to him.
Wow.
It's not like I come across him. I found him laying on his back. He'd drown. What do they call that? Aspirated.
Wow.
Blah, blah, blah.
What
But
did-
he had not taken enough of that drug
Right.
to kill someone. He'd taken 3. Now, when I was taking them, come on, that was like for starters.
3.
Yeah. Were you really doing
fistfuls.
coke too when you were she was doing coke when she was doing Star Wars? Were you getting high back then, or was it just did your thing really kick in later?
But no, it kicked in. I mean, I was in my 20s then. When are they going to kick in now? I go to my AARP meetings, loaded for bear. Yeah, no, I had a friend of mine that was working on the. We did snort coke a little bit on the ice planet Hoth.
You really couldn't
snorted
see it
the
much
set.
there. You could hide
Yeah.
it. Yes, you could hide it much
No,
better.
but I mean, it wasn't like we were stumbling around, our outer space set spaced out. But, there were a couple of days. I was 22.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was
And there's
the
a lot of
70s.
downtime and,
It's
yeah.
the 70s.
No,
Everyone's
and
having
I was
fun.
an idiot. There's like a great combination.
That leads me to the next thing. This show, I'm telling you, huge thumbs up. Sunday, 9 p.m. on HBO. It's called Wishful
It was very funny.
Drinking with Carrie Fisher. She's hilarious and very open. You talk about your Star Wars experience, and I get the feeling you're not a big fan of Mr. Lucas.
I'm a huge fan of it. They have to. No,
Like he owns your.
he does own my likeness,
he
and
owns
I
your
don't
likeness.
like that. But
You don't like
that's-
that part of it. That's why I wanted to ask you about it because
Don't like that,
I got the
no.
feeling that it might have gone deeper than that, but you're saying no.
No, I mean, and by the way, I think he sold the brand now to someone else. Because when we had to call and say, will you give us permission to do the jump to hyperspace or whatever the hell we had to ask him, he said, oh, you'll have to ask Jim Hagedorn.
Somebody else owns that now?
Yeah,
He
so he
just
doesn't
gave the-
have to
oh,
deal with
okay.
me anymore.
Oh, great.
Were you calling him a lot?
Yeah, I'm plaguing him with, pelting him with calls. No, not at all.
I saw with the trailer thing that Sam was just showing, there's the Star Wars lettering and, special presentation.
Well, yeah,
and
so
a
they
princess.
got that
So did
from
you have
him.
to
I had
ask?
to, sleep with him in
Even
order
that?
to get the permission. But I just mean literally sleep. 'Cause
Yes,
at my
yeah.
age, you're
Take a nap.
tired.
Sleepy.
Speaking of the likeness, everything came out with your likeness, and you kind
And
of
that's annoying.
yeah.
I mean, in a good way. I like having the stuff around. The shampoo bottle twist off my head.
That is a little odd.
Pour liquid out of my neck. And George actually gave me. There was another one that came out. This one that's seated. You see it in the show. And I was at one of those comic book conventions because I'd been lonely and I wanted to hang out.
Meet some cool guys.
Exactly.
Cool
Doxy
guy.
Cotton.
Really appreciate me for what I am, or who. And
God.
there was this thing on a turnstile, and it turned around. You could really see directly up the dress of the doll to the Lagoon of Mystery. Yeah,
really?
And it had a
And
badge.
I went. Well, I mean, it's not like with a V account and everything, but it was too close for comfort. And
Yeah.
so I went and got my daughter because you want to make her proud. And I was like, "Come here, you have to see this." By that time, they'd stopped the turnstile, so I did call George then and say, owning my likeness doesn't include. But, so he
My
sent
snatch.
me one of those dolls where you could take the top off. So I have my own Princess Leia
Wow,
doll.
fuck doll?
with
doll.
aureolas.
Wow.
Everything.
Amazing.
That was one of my favorite
Interesting.
parts of the show is when you go, thank God there's not a fuck doll and the doll starts. That was hilarious.
Yeah,
There
really.
was a sex doll
Yeah.
with
Really
They-
fun.
literally, and it's an $800 doll
Yeah.
that is cement. That's
God.
erotic, isn't it?
Very erotic,
You
yes.
just
And
hump its leg or something.
one other thing, I love that you don't take yourself seriously in the Star Wars movies. We all love, obviously, and your friends beat you up because of the accent.
Oh
You
my
went in
God.
and out of the
Isn't
English
that-
accent, which
yeah.
I never even noticed until you
I
pointed
didn't
that
either.
out.
That was just like the start, though, right?
Well,
Wasn't that
but
the first
you
few
guys
scenes?
like, this would be if you were.
But
my
our
fr-
friends would be like, "Holy shit, you're in Star Wars!" But you have friends
Oh,
that have
no.
to beat you up about it.
Yes.
That's the difference. I'm thinking.
Your friends would beat you up about
Yeah, probably.
this.
You're
They
probably
would.
right. You're probably
No,
right.
but it was also.
I smelt your foul stench when you
came
when I came aboard.
I thought I recognized
I
your.
recognized your foul stench.
And but you know what? The first thing I shot was the scene with Peter Cushing, where it was Governor
Yeah.
talking. It
Yeah,
was that
yeah,
first
that
scene.
scene.
So I started to do it. I came in and went, it's literally. I wanted to do it like, hey, Governor Tarkin. I got on board this ship and I thought, what the hell is that smell? It's got to be Governor Tarkin. So George takes me aside and says, this is really, really serious shit. You're very serious. You're very upset. They're going to blow up your planet. Really, like. So I had to do it straight. So you say that line, Governor Tarkin. I thought.
Yes.
No,
Well, you
instead
can do
of-
it. You
I
can
thought
do
I
it.
recognized your foul
Yes.
stench when
Governor
I
Tarkin,
arrived.
I thought I recognized your foul stench when I came aboard.
Okay, now say it without it.
Hey, Governor Tarkin, I thought I recognized
Yeah.
your foul stench when I came aboard.
I probably.
See, I'm an actor. They're not actors.
Okay,
Jimmy, do
you
it.
go.
Governor Tarkin, I thought I recognized your foul stench when you came on board.
Mr.
Yeah,
Fabric.
exactly. It makes you want to fuck with the dialogue.
Yeah, a little bit.
It really does.
Yeah.
A little bit. Was there a? I've seen the movie a couple of times. I'm a little familiar with it. When you're in the cell and that door opens, and of course Luke is there in his little stormtrooper suit.
Yeah.
Is that what you're wearing? A little see-through? Do we actually see
Well,
a
I
little
don't
nip?
wear anything underneath.
And she
I think
explains
at-
that too.
At one point,
Yeah,
the
I
light
do
hits
talk
it.
about their-
I think we see a little nip.
Now, here's
a little
where
nip
to
through the
look
top.
for no bra. Right at the end.
Here's
It's
where to
going to
look.
help out every nerd.
Every nerd.
This will make all the
But at the
sites.
end of when Luke comes back and R2's all blown up and he's been in his big fight, and I come underneath the thing and I say it really badly, and it's horrible acting, and I hated saying this line at the time. I knew you weren't in it for the money. Okay, whatever leads up to that is bouncing breasts. And it looks really stupid. It sounds stupid, but there you go.
How
That's the nerd shot right there.
If you
could
want to
you-
look for
That's the-
bouncing Leia breasts,
Could you tell the audience what Lucas said to you about?
there's no underwear in space. But then, by
actually,
the
I had
way,
to sit down
I
and
used to
tell
have it.
Carrie Fisher
He
that.
explained it. He said, when you go into space, you become weightless, right? Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So far, so good.
Sure.
But then your body expands, but your bra doesn't. So you get strangled by your bra.
Did
So you
he
figure
use
they
this as
could-
a kid in
This was
school?
the logic.
George Lucas was a dirty
I went
boy.
back to him and
Yes.
said, you did say that to me.
Because they could build a Death Star, but they can't build a bra that stretches with your tits in space.
I always have been saying they should have had a Princess Leia planet. Like one of the planets we could go get our hair done.
Right.
I mean, fuck, I can't put, that hairstyle every morning. Come on.
That
Very
is
funny
so
when you put that on, by the way, during the
Yes.
show. You
Oh
put
my
on
God.
the hair wig and just kind of.
Flattering, isn't it?
Yes, but you have a great sense of humor about it. Like a lot of people take their roles
Very
too
seriously.
seriously,
Right.
and you're like, you fuck with it and have fun with it.
But how could you take Princess Leia thing?
I know, the Danishes,
it was
they call
fun
them.
to do, and we had a really good time doing the movie. And I was a girl in an all-male fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I was a kid.
What's the question you get the most as far as Star Wars goes?
Did you
So we don't
know
say
it
it.
was going to be that big of a hit?
yeah.
Okay, thank
Sure.
God we didn't ask that.
Yeah, I did. I had a
Yeah.
crystal ball.
Just
and I used to sit around.
You knew
No.
sequels were coming. You knew years later there'd be
Everything.
prequels.
Yeah,
Everything.
I knew that. I could
remember
see
you
the
saying that.
merchandising.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm
Sure.
psychic.
How? What's the worst? 'Cause I know fans probably ask you. You're one of those iconic figures. Sign.
Yeah.
What's the most annoying place someone has fucking stuck
they
something in your
like-
face?
Well, people have asked me to sign their flesh so they can have it tattooed.
Wow.
So that's happened a
hardcore.
lot. That just happened in Australia again.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so dumb, but I mean, it's like my thing
Should
is
write
like,
it really
why?
big.
Carrie, feelings on the Star Wars Christmas special.
It's the worst thing ever made.
Is it not the worst
But
thing
wait,
ever made?
it's so bad it's not even good. I mean,
No,
'cause
no.
I actually did a favor for George because I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
I said, I will do the voiceover on this, thing, on some Star Wars thing. If you get me the Christmas special, because I think he took the.
Oh, he pretty much
You
went out
wanted it.
single-handedly, punched
Oh,
people
come
in the
on.
face, and took
Art
it back.
Carney and the Death Star. Are
It
you
was
kidding?
great. Come on. Hey, how about B.
hilarious.
Arthur as the bartender?
Wait, come on. Wookiee Life Day. Okay.
Where they just spoke Wookiee for the first 10 minutes of this thing. You couldn't understand a word. There wasn't
I
subtitles.
got it though. He gave it to me. I gave a party so that we could watch it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not funny.
No,
I mean
it's not.
it's so bad. Okay, it's funny for a second. But then
Although
it keeps
Jefferson
going.
Starship singing in the little
Awful.
thing was fantastic.
Well, it's so bad.
I got it at one of those Comic-Con
that
things.
shows you he did not know it was going to be a hit.
Yes.
No one in their right mind
would have tainted the
Yes.
movie itself with that
That's
dreck.
right.
Garbage.
I thought Han Solo was good though when he goes. I mean, Harrison said yeah, you saved my skin more than a few times. I thought there was some good, powerful lines in there.
Like
in
that.
the whatchamacallit?
Yeah, it's just very funny how.
Well, then I sang that song.
Yes,
Yep.
you did. Now, there was a rumor you had maybe imbibed a little alcohol beforehand or maybe some drugs before that.
There's always going to be those rumors, though, that I just was constantly staggering around. Mostly, I left my drug use for the weekend and after the shoot, because the dialogue you can't say sober. So I'm going to get loaded,
Yeah,
freeze
true.
up my mouth.
How's the partying these days?
I've used my coupon. We're out.
You're done.
Yeah.
Is
I
it-
mean,
do you
as
miss-
far as I can tell.
Do you miss it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes, absolutely. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
You
It's
said
so
the
much fun.
yeah,
it is.
sometimes, but then it kind of stops
Yeah,
being
no,
fun.
you
Yeah,
start
believe me,
getting
yeah.
too many of those things where you think, I'm going to die. If you let me live through this, I won't do it anymore.
That was
Even Carrie
cocaine, by the
Fisher
way.
thinks that.
I did that about
We'll have one of those.
8, 9 times
Wow.
before it really went, okay.
Yeah, back in the 80s with
And I have a
cocaine was
kid.
that.
You don't want
It was like,
I don't want to get...
I think I'm going to die. I think I'm really going to die
my
here.
heartbeat is...
Yeah, it's gonna pop out
Please
of my
let
chest.
me live. If you let me, I promise to...
Yeah,
If you let me live to just do some more coke, I swear.
No, and I did not. That's not a drug I really liked. So
No? You like a little more of the mellow stuff?
But the thing was, I liked painkillers. But
Painkillers?
But the and hallucinogens.
Oh, really?
Mind
Hallucinogens?
expanders and painkillers.
Little mescaline?
which worked the other way.
LSD?
LSD.
She went right for the LSD.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you, what age were you when you first started
LSD. I was
LSD
in my
or
20s.
20s?
Yeah.
What about the simplest thing, like a first drink or first joint or something like that? How old were you?
First joint. All of that was about 13 years old.
About 13?
Yeah.
And what did you have the kind of lifestyle where you weren't really being supervised? Was that kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look who her parents were.
Oh, no, I
My
know.
father
I know.
shot speed for 13 years, and he wasn't anywhere near, he wasn't around at all. And, my mom worked all the time.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Well, and we should get into that. Eddie Fisher is your father. Was, excuse me. And, sorry for your loss, by the way.
I am too.
And Debbie Reynolds.
And Debbie Reynolds. And Eddie Fisher leaves Debbie Reynolds for Elizabeth Taylor. And that
And the
lasted
poor
a couple
schmuck
weeks, right?
pays for it for the rest of his life.
Wow.
How long were they together? Not long at all.
No, it was the same amount of time as my mother and him, 4 years.
4 years. Okay. I didn't even think it was that long.
She converted for him, for my dad.
That Liz.
She went Jew.
Elizabeth Taylor went Jew, yes.
Wow.
Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome.
But the show is so much more than just. There's like a little piece on Star Wars in it, but it was so much
yeah.
more interesting.
That's why I'm
the
getting into-
family stuff. It was
Yeah, the
really
whole
That's why I'm
fucking
getting into
amazing.
the family thing.
Yeah.
Would you punch Elizabeth Taylor in the face if you could?
No,
If you saw her
I'm
walking down the hall
actually-
right now?
I let her push me in the pool.
Did you?
Basically, to show her, you can't hurt me now. No, but she did.
Liz Taylor, I thought I smelt your
The
foul stench.
yeah. No, she pushed me in the pool, and it was then my daughter thought she could do it all the time. But
She broke up the family, though.
I once gave her an award and thanked her for getting Eddie Fisher out of our house. You know,
That's why you got to watch this show on Sunday. I'm telling
it wasn't gonna. I don't think the marriage would have lasted anyway. And if it wasn't Elizabeth Taylor, it would have been somebody else. My parents were not a good match, but you know, they made him into a villain. And
yeah, that's
you
one
know,
thing. He
contributed. He just kept doing shit like that. So
and he loved the Asians.
Well, he
loved the Asian women.
by the end there, that became his.
Just showing you, I watched this thing. I didn't want to lie to you.
Did your parents? I know your dad passed away like 3 months after this was shot. Did your parents both saw it and did they like it?
Oh, they were in it. If they came to the show, they'd get on stage, they'd sing, they'd do.
Yeah, because how long did you do it on the stage before HBO came to you?
Years.
It was years.
Yeah, I did it in L.A. and then I did it I did it up in San Francisco where my father lived, and so I was there for months, and then just in a lot of cities in America.
I loved how you ended the thing, and I won't give that away. Your out was
very funny.
The thing.
The way you left it was.
I don't even want to give that away.
It was just very good.
I don't want to give too much of this away.
Now, did you?
Very funny.
Growing up in a show business family, did you want to get into it? Did you have a need? So now you didn't want to. And how did you end up getting?
Because the bigger trick would have been, you know, I didn't go into it. I just kind of stupidly stayed. There's something very passive about, you know.
You didn't want to be a little song and dance girl or anything like that?
First, it was what my parents did.
Mm-hmm. Also, it was kind of uncool?
It was definitely uncool. Yes, Vegas.
You never want to do anything.
In Reno.
Especially then was like just...
No, and that was actually in my family, that's really was the rebellion, not the drugs, not doing my own nightclub.
Now, you don't mean the rebellion... You know,
the Star Wars.
I get confused when you talk sometimes like that.
No, who doesn't? No, but I didn't go. I watched my parents' careers just, you know, kind of fade, and I watched how painful that was for them, and they scramble to try to get back. Because there is no point in a career in show business where you just go, well, here I am at this point. Now I'm just going to kick back and relax. You got to scramble to get there. And then once you're there, you have to scramble to stay. Yeah. And there's no way to stay forever. You have to, And then so we watch the pictures as people then become my age and you get older and fatter and whatever it is. And it's a humiliating...
Isn't it almost a better to have loved and lost thing, though? It's like, well, you were there.
I'm not suggesting,
You were there.
But I'm just saying it's so not simple. I mean, I would rather have been in show... I would rather have done the writing. And yes, I like show business, like writing films.
A little more behind the scenes, a little more your own artistic...
Yeah, because I just didn't... The thing in front, and it just gets...
But then how did you get
crazy.
Princess Leia? With that type of...
I was brought...
With that lousy attitude.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was getting at.
Well, no,
I really didn't want to go into that business.
Me too.
Because that screwed you for the rest of your life. If that's how you really think.
The second film I did. The first film I did, I went with a friend of mine, George Firth. He brought me on the set of Shampoo. I met Warren Beatty. He said, "Okay,
I want to have sex with you."
Yes,
and then
of
what?
course.
Yeah, here's the part.
Right.
I shot one day. I was a virgin. And Warren told everyone in the crew, so if you watch that movie, I say want to fuck in it. They cut away from me so fast. The entire crew laughed at me. Anyway, so the next thing that happened was they started, I don't even know, like 6 months later, my mother's agent said, they're doing, you know, readings for Carrie, the horror film, and for this other film, this kind of science fiction thing, and no one gave a shit about that kind of stuff.
No.
And I went in and I read for it, and I got it.
Jeez.
And then I was in. But I read that script, and I would have done that script. Anybody would have. I mean, I read it out loud with a friend of mine, Miguel Ferrer. Han Solo was the part to play.
I love Miguel Ferrer. He's great.
Yeah, he was a friend of mine and so we read it out loud, and it was just like, and I do remember when I got the part, I was really excited. Not because it was a good part, But because I couldn't figure out how the hell they were going to make that thing happen.
Make it actually work. Yeah, because there wasn't any real precedent before that.
No precedent.
That you could,
no special effects, really.
But they had this stuff. It was written on the page.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a new show out about that ILM and all those guys talk about when they read it for the first time and how many
shit, we're going to have to do this?
Right. And it hadn't been done. And there was a thing in the script, the original script, they found me not in the, when they aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
I was unconscious in the sort of underneath the Death Star, wherever the fuck, hanging upside down, unconscious with yellow eyes.
Holy shit.
Well, I thought, I want in on that. You know? Fucking 19 years old. Yeah. And the Wookiee was then supposed to take me and carry me underwater. We were having... Now, the guy that played the Wookiee, Peter Mayhew, had giant itis. He had no strength at all. And if
he was just
stood up
big.
really fast, he would,
We met him. Yeah. We feel like we're growing as a radio show because we only got the guys that were in the costumes of Star Wars until today.
Oh, well.
The whole crew came in. We had the short guy, the tall guy, the guy in between.
Oh, years ago, yeah. This was one of the anniversaries.
Yeah, they were promoting something. They came out as a group.
Well,
how about Carrie Fisher and
well,
Mark
there
Hamill
you go.
and
You
the
go.
rest of them?
It shouldn't be that hard to get any of us by this point.
Were you surprised seeing the movie after reading the script and then probably doing a lot of stuff in front of blue screens at the time?
I was as surprised. It
so you're like, wow. Were you thinking like
it was better than I thought it would be?
Blue screen. What the fuck is that?
Was that new technology?
Blue screen was really boring.
Yeah, I would guess.
Just sit there. They did a funny thing, and I think it was in the last one. I was reading, while they lit on the speeders, when we're going through the forest.
Oh, shit.
So they had actually, outtakes of me reading Colette as the speeder
racing through the woods.
Yeah, that was really good. When they had a goodie reel.
Yeah.
Of the Star Wars, I wonder if that exists
People would
anywhere.
love to see that.
Man, that was awesome.
They should put that
right there.
Outtakes.
Yeah, that would do great.
Yeah, no, there was some. That would be great. That's one thing I wish they did have.
What was the first? Because you had this image of being this. You were Princess Leia. And what was the first public indication that things are there's something not like? What was your first public embarrassment, or however you want to say it, or fuck up, or?
You mean
that kind of got you in the tabloids,
famous?
and yeah, that in not a positive way.
Where people
not fitting the mold of Princess Leia, where everybody
people were looking, going, "Wow, she's unraveling."
Like when Charlie Sheen first got busted with a hooker, we were like, "Wow!"
Yeah.
I wasn't ever busted. I wasn't really a spectacle till in my 20s.
They didn't find you naked in a bush somewhere.
Not that I know.
Okay.
No.
I think you pretty much outed yourself as somebody that was kind of.
I went into rehab at 28.
Wild. 28, okay.
So, and really, I didn't really abuse everything until. So it was like between 22 and 28 was when I.
Yeah, well, you were hanging out with a pretty fast crowd there, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fast and dead.
John Belushi, yeah. Dan Aykroyd, obviously.
Yeah.
Dead. Career-wise.
Well, that whole SNL, that
scared the shit out of
cast.
everybody. We all were waiting to see what John died of, hoping it wasn't the drug we were on.
Oh,
really?
Shit.
Did you guys know that he was going to go too far?
Of course we knew he would, yes.
I mean,
John was
it was legendary even at the time when all that was going down. Everyone was very concerned.
Danny used to call him the black hole in space because if you put anything near him, food, drugs, whatever,
just suck it in.
Gone.
Holy jeez.
So that was actually when I first did LSD was on the Blues Brothers set, and
wow, really?
there were all these policemen around, and we thought they were extras. They were the police. So,
and you're all fucked up.
Yes, very.
Oh my god!
But John
LSD on the set. Wow.
And John just he also Danny called him America's guest because he could just go up to anyone's house and go, "Listen, can I use your TV?" because something's on. You know, he just
Yeah,
was,
everybody
Who's that
knew,
guy?
knew him.
yeah.
And
One time
was
he
very
wanted to go
lovable.
with me to Disneyland. I said, there is no fucking way that would be fun. Because you are the Matterhorn. But he was one of the first people I knew to have those, you know, drug guards, sober coaches. They call
Oh, yeah.
Really? Wow.
and
yeah.
so one time he had his sober coach. And I always thought the guy's name was Peaches. And he comes over to see me. I'm getting my hair dyed for some movie or permed or whatever. And he says to the sober coach, okay, you go now. I'm with Fisher. And I was terrified. I said, please don't go. Don't
put this on me.
in charge of this thing. Because, of course, it did not end well. I mean, I couldn't keep... I was put in the position of being like, John, should you be drinking sake? You know, it was, oh,
Right.
no, it's just tea. That's okay. I mean, I knew enough. I was about 23. I knew enough at that point that that's not okay.
You said the best thing about resentment too. You said it's you drink the poison. It's when I drink the poison and hope the other person dies. How did you put
Drink
it?
the poison and wait for the other person to die.
It's like, what a
That
great
is
statement
good.
about it, because you know I seethe with resentment, and it was just such a great way to put what a shitty state of mind that
It
is.
really is bad. I actually said to my mom recently, isn't self-pity awful? She said, actually, I like it. You know, you complain.
It gives you something to do.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of people like self-pity.
Yeah.
I know. It wouldn't it be great if it was aerobic?
Right.
But no.
So you were diagnosed with bipolar?
I was. I was pretty early on. At 24. And the only reason I think it didn't happen before that was I didn't go to a psychiatrist. But I had asked to go into therapy at 15.
Wow.
And no one in my family was in therapy. It was just the weirdest thing in the world to do. So,
Why were you asking? What felt something just didn't
I
feel
remember-
right?
no.
No?
She goes, no.
No, it didn't feel so. I felt like I was trying too hard. You know, I wanted, you know, out of control, people pleasing. You know, you want everyone to like you, and if they don't, you're devastated.
That's not really an
That's-
odd thing.
It was the intensity.
Oh, okay.
And also, I was getting crushes on gay men even then.
Really?
What's
They
that
were the
about?
only people that were around that were male. I was a chorus girl on Broadway in my mom's show, like everyone.
Not many
at
gay
15.
guys on Broadway, though. Where'd you find them?
I managed.
She figured it out.
I figured out. And so then the shrink said to me that I wanted to be a superwoman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're getting the signal. We got to wrap.
Yeah, you have
damn.
depressed.
We don't want to.
We wish we could talk to you for 2 hours.
I
You're
know,
great.
Exactly.
We all love this thing that's going to be on HBO Sunday at 9 p.m. on HBO.
Wishful drinking. It was funny, man.
Hilarious. She's obviously very, very funny and
Well,
very, very
thank
honest
you
with her
guys for
life.
having me on.
Not just the Star Wars thing. I mean, it's her whole life.
Yeah, the whole
I thought
life
the
is
family
very
stuff was
interesting,
fascinating. The
amazing.
whole thing, there was so many interesting parts, and the way you kind of goofed on Star Wars and your part, and you had fun with it. I loved it, and it was. I'm telling you, that barefoot thing. I had never seen a performer do that on a stage.
I
And it
felt
just made it. It
Foot
made it.
fetish, we get
No,
it.
I don't even like feet. I typically boo feet. I don't like them. But
I have really nice feet, though.
I noticed that
I
a
have
lot.
awesome
A lot.
feet.
Yeah, I freeze framed out. You know, whatever. It was just my thing. But I thought you were terrific, and I
I'm good at
recommend
playing
it.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stretch, but
And it wasn't melodramatic. It was there was poignant moments of it that felt very genuine.
But not like
it was
maudlin or
not
anything, yeah.
cornel. Right. It was not maudlin or you know. It wasn't like insert teardrop. It was just very very genuine.
yeah, no, I wouldn't have liked that. That would have been. I watched
Pity me.
They showed it in L.A. and I was sort of there somewhere around. I felt like I died.
Oh,
You know what I
geez.
mean? Like it was a
watching
documentary. I
Right,
just
right.
watched one on HBO about Sergio de Mellon, you know, the guy that worked at the UN that was killed in a. So, you know, there are these other documentaries.
From dead people.
Dead.
Yeah.
And we all actually just quietly just said nothing. We're all dumb
I know,
fuckers. We
like,
did
wait a
not know
minute,
who that was.
The other guy.
Oh, right, no, but go and see who that is. He's like
Okay.
a perfect human, and that's actually a really good documentary too. Of theirs.
Oh, and I watch a lot of those documentaries on
I
HBO.
like them,
love
too.
Yeah.
Well, Carrie Fisher, phenomenal. We love
Yeah,
you.
thank you
And
Thank you guys
much.
for having
Sunday
me.
at 9 o'clock, I want to take a picture with Carrie Fisher.